In tonight's episode, we continue to battle against the economic sanctions put upon us by the lady from Europe. We also deal with a heat wave, a crime problem, a lack of interest in tourism, and a massive housing issue across the entire island. But we are up to the challenge because we are El Presidente, and this is Let's Play Tropico 4 Part 2. Well, greetings guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Tropico 4. When I left you in part 1, we were in a little bit of a mess as our lovely interfering busybody from Europe has banned most of our most lucrative exports. But no fear, we shall find alternative ways of raising capital, and we shall get ourselves back on track as soon as we possibly can. Now we are going to start some tourism over here, which we will get up and running as soon as possible. And we've got a bit of spare finance at the moment, and we need something to entertain our people. Additionally, looking at our factions, we can see that our most unhappy group is our loyalists. So I'm going to get rid of 2 birds in 1 stone, and I'm going to build myself a childhood museum, which I assume is entertainment. Here we are. Which will, as my pub is currently out of action, will give my local Tropicans somewhere to go, and also hopefully please that particular faction. Have I got room for it? It will go quite nicely next to the palace, so let's kind of slot it in there. We're going to need to think about housing fairly shortly, but we'll get that down, and we'll just pause that while while we get tourism up and running. The other advantage of tourism is that you don't need a lot of education to get it started. Almost all of the industries there are uneducated, and as we haven't got a high school up and running yet, that should help. So we've got a tourist dock is being built, so we're going to need a motel. In fact, let's have 2 motels. And again, I will stop those in the short term to get my builders going where I want them. Now we need to keep an eye on the calendar, as we don't want that issue where half our money disappears towards the end of the year because of this awful and frustrating corruption problem. And I have just mucked that up. Kaboom! There we are. Okay, so we've got our farms are coming along, which will give us a little bit of profit. If we keep checking over here, 28 new immigrants, which is fantastic, so we're definitely growing fast now. So it might be time to have a little stock check on what is going on around the island. So let's just pause and check our people and our economy. We've got unemployed 26, so that's a strong indication that I need to start getting new businesses up now. My average pay is now higher than the Caribbean pay, so hiding the green arrow, it says that. My income is not great, but we know what the reasons for that, and my homeless is absolutely colossal, so that's definitely something I have to deal with very, very soon. And for checking out the happiness, food's fine, housing quality, religion they're now fine with because we've got the church, entertainment less so. Crime, safety, and liberty they're not happy about, but we've got those newspapers coming along very soon, which will help that. So I think things are going okay. So we will let that unpause. But it would be very, very nice to get some constructors over here, assuming that the constructors are still doing their work properly. And actually I'll unlock the childhood museum as well. I would be interested to find out exactly what edicts I'm not allowed to do. If you're watching part 1, this mission has banned what it called specialized edicts, but I'm not entirely sure what they are getting at with that. Right, we're now October, so I'm going to have to spend a lot of money pretty soon. And £4,000 from exports, thank you very much. think I need power to do most of the upgrades in the mines, but I don't need that for the ranches, so I might start getting some more ranches down, especially as industry isn't going to be coming very, very soon. Right, tourist dock is ready, so let's unlock one of our motels, and once that's up we can do that as well. Right, we're in November, so I'm going to pause now, and I'm basically going to spend everything I've got. Now, as I've got a bit more finance, now is going to be a good time to get my high school in there. And we'll slot that there. Got a bit of spare money. I was just looking at that newspaper. We need another farm. Iron's getting along its way to getting exported. How much is the newspaper? 2,000 and 5,000. Well, as we've got to spend money, let's spend 2,000 to get that blueprint done, because we're not going to have an Academy of Science anytime soon. But I'm not going to spend the other 4,000 on there because I haven't got enough. The other thing I was going to make was possibly a backup ranch, or I suppose we can actually start putting some of these tourist buildings in, which might make sense as we've got. Oh, but it won't let me until I've got a hotel. Urgh. Or we could put in like a restaurant or something, which will entertain my little tourists. But we will pause that one for now. And we'll pause the school as well. 2,000 left. So if I'm going to lose 33% of that, I'm going to lose a few hundred. But that's probably acceptable. Childhood Museum is on its way.
Back to work again.
And once this stuff's built, I'll unlock that last farm, which should give us complete our first mission there, which should reduce our corruption level. I might do this smoked house beef thing once we get our foreign aid, although we're going to get less foreign aid because we took that mission that screwed over our relationships. Right, we lost $370. That's not too bad. In fact, I could probably lose $370 just by drawing a road that's the wrong shape. Let's see how bad things are with the foreign economy. US relations, 25%, that's awful. I don't think I've ever seen it that low before. US are great. My tendency towards communism they're not pretty pleased with. By the way, when I set up my character, one of the reasons why they are being grumpy with me is because I often hit random, which is what I did for this particular mission. Can't actually find where I am now. Presidente profile, here I am. I hit random before we started, which gave me Silver Spoon, Heir Apparent, Entrepreneurial, Green Thumb, and Ugly. Which has given me some nice commodity prices. The environmentalists love me, not particularly useful. Fairly low democratic expectations, which is probably going to be good with the amount of money we're not making today. We've lost respect for the communist faction, a bit of extra money to start with, good tourism rating. And I think that ugly modifier did something along the lines... Oh, and plus Middle East relations. The ugly modifier, I think, reduced all factions' respect, but I think maybe entrepreneurial, which is hard to pronounce, moved it back the other way, but that's okay. But hopefully we'll get a bit of extra dosh from Russia as we go into the new year, and we shall recheck all our money bits and bobs. Although that money is getting dangerously low. We don't want to... If that drops below zero, that will also harm my international relations. No! No! I have now dropped below zero. My dear Presidente.
Do you know that your advisor, Penultimo, spells his name with not one, not two, but 5 typos?
This is impressive.
All intellectuals agree that it is high time we build a high school on our island.
I shall do that. I have a high school coming your way. Right, so tourism rating is still on 2. Number of citizens is 97, which doesn't quite correspond with the 118 down here, but that number might not count kids. Threat level is none. Presidente profile is fine. Overall happiness is about the same, but respect has gone up slightly. Whoop, whoop. Income was 13,000. Outgoing was 25,000. So money is still a problem with all of these nasty, nasty restrictions that she has put on us. We're not importing anything at the moment. And the loyalists are still grumpy. Still. But the rest of stuff, I think we're doing okay on. Whew! And there is some aid to get us back in the black. So what are my builders up to then, eh? Oh, they're working on my childhood museum rather slowly.
What matter requires Presidentes?
Well, let's speed things up and let them get to work. We do have a bit of money, but I think actually that money is barely going to last the year in terms of wages and stuff, so I'm not sure if I particularly want to invest that. I think we'll let some of our exports do their magic. Cool. Childhood Museum is up.
Never fear, Presidente is here.
Our motel should be on the way very soon. And I'll let them do that motel, and I will let them do this farm as well. So that should get us back, lower a little bit of our corruption and various things like that. Export revenue in here, 7,000, which is very, very nice. And we have a freighter approaching the dock. So that should push the money up a bit and probably hopefully get us somewhat closer towards this target of export iron as well, which is very cool. Hello, Mr. Boat. Please give me lots of money. 4 new immigrants, not quite what I was hoping for. And we've gone up to 9,000, so we can now start doing a little bit of spending. And our motel is built. We'll allow that restaurant to come along as well, as we're now going to hopefully start getting some tourists to the place. 10,000 that boat eventually exported, which is great.
Presidente, I just got a call from the UN Economic Inspector. He says that the Tropican dollar is overvalued and that the economy is facing a liquidity crisis.
Let him print some money. That then it takes all prices up a little bit higher. But if the other options are plus 30,000, but I increase corruption by 15%. Well, that would only take it back up to about 40. And 30,000 would really help me get things moving. So I'm tempted to go for that one, actually. And deal with the higher corruption just by making sure I empty my balance before the end of the year. Because let's face it, we could spend money. So let's do it. 40,000! Thank you very much. And with that 40,000, it might be time to get our maybe a second construction house in place, because this lot's kind of holding me back now with a little bit of their slowness. How's my farm coming? Oh, the farm's done. Brilliant. Cool. Well, we'll enable the school now then. And as we've got a bit of dosh, let's turn this farm into smoked beef. And we've got our first tourists. 10 tourists arriving on the island. Hello. Welcome to Tropico. We hope you enjoy your stay. And now I have those little tourists. Let's try and get some other attractions in place, preferably cheap ones. As this whole island is on, or this whole section is on the beach, it would make sense to give ourselves a little beach complex like that. And then we shall put in... I don't often find the balloon ride gives me a huge amount of return, but I do get stuff from the cocktail bar. But will that prohibition... Actually, that prohibition might screw up that beach as well. Let me just check that. Edicts, interior. Closes pubs, nightclubs, rum distilleries. Well, that's not a pub. That's a beach site. And I assume then the same goes for that old... No, I'm in the wrong place. I assume then the same goes for the cocktail bar. I suppose they can have a... I suppose they can have a virgin cocktail and everything will be fine. We'll stop construction of that. Oh, and let's get other things in place. Okay, so let's just cover our basics here. Right, we've got a school on the way. We've got a church in place. We've got health being taken care of by the aid camp for now. We've got food all over the place. So the big thing left is housing, but let's see if the citizens agree with that particular diagnosis. They're not too fond on entertainment either, but hopefully the tourist stuff will take care of that. Crime safety, 26 on crime safety. But I don't think I'm quite ready to go to a police station just yet, but maybe that's something then I need to address. I wonder if it will let me do those edicts that like praise the USA to try and get that up. No, all of these edicts are currently disabled. Can you see that label there? So looks like I'm on my own. The other thing I would normally do with housing is I would get the USSR one to grant a permanent discount for tenements and apartments, and clearly I'm not going to get that. I don't know if that's going to last for this whole mission, but assuming that it is, I might as well now get started with the housing. And for that I'm definitely going to need another constructor. So let's go another constructor's office. In fact, let's put that down in this kind of industrial zone down here, and why don't we get that one done first, because then that should hopefully speed up the process of everything else. Okay, time back on. I think that's the only thing I've got building at the moment. Just the school and the other constructor, so that's pretty cool. Now, one of the things I think we need to start doing is looking at the lives of individuals in Tropico. Because by looking at the lives of the individuals, we can start to kind of see what specifically is making people happy and what's making them sad, and also it's kind of fun, you know, getting involved in the lives of our citizens. Hello, Silvestre. You have above average intelligence, but your leadership is abysmal. He's one of our little teamsters, and you are just standing around doing nothing. What are you doing? Carrying the load so I don't have to. Do we think that's true, or are you just standing there? Because I'm going down the standing there route.
What do you want? I'm busy ruling.
Right, this is our little avatar. He's actually got a bit of DLC going on. Whoops, he's got a bit of DLC going on his hat there. I think that was from the new Vigilante. Actually, no, it must be the one before the Vigilante one, whichever that one was called, with that little kind of mayoral chain thing going on there. Here are our beautiful tourists having a little look at their little hotel. Sadly, they haven't got anything to do at the moment, so let's hope that our constructors get on with it. What are our constructors doing? Active projects, none. Brilliant. Aha! The commodity price of iron has completed by 50%. Fantastic. Right, we are about to have to spend a load more money again because we are getting close to the end of the year, and I don't want to lose 40% of a 40 grand. Right, now we've got a builder there, and we just made another 10 grand from the Tropican goods as well, which is brilliant. And we've got another mission going on that has just appeared, so we'll have to check that out. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the calendar clock. Blah blah blah. Issue free housing. 15 communist respect. No, I don't want that. I think the communists reasonably like me at the moment. Factions. Communists. Yeah, no, 55% happiness is good enough. In fact, now I've got that childhood museum. The loyalists are reasonably happy as well. It's just the environmentalists that are a touch grumpy with me. So I'm sorry, but I shall dismiss that. And it's November, so let's pause the clock and spend a huge amount of money. Well, if I can't get those edicts, there's probably not a lot of point in me making one of those Council of Ministers. So it looks like it's going to be housing. So we'll go into housing, we'll go to the tenements, and we can pick our tenement by scrolling through the square brackets. We've already got a yellow one here, so in keeping with the theme, I guess we start building with that. Although that's a small one. Lovely. 1, 2, right, how many people we've got? 134 people. Each one holds approximately 25 people. I think it's 24 people, but you're basically looking at 5 to 100. So if I buy... Unfortunately, they don't always fill up because of how the family groups work, but 5 or 6 will probably house everything here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already got that 5th one there. But we are going to get bigger. So we might as well put that in there as well. Then we will block all these building while they're finishing off the second constructor. And what else shall we put in this little world of mine? Well, we still need those newspapers, so let's get one of them down. Although that's going to need, I think that might need college application. Whoa, that's a big building. We could start taking our industrial zone kind of this way. Has this got a traffic link? Oh yeah, there it is. So that could go in like that. Now these can actually have a really good effect in terms of making people more intelligent and things like that, but it isn't the respect of those guys we need. Generates revenue for every reader in the every area of the newspaper. I think we'll probably go for that one, but we'll freeze that for now. Right, 12,000 left. I wonder if it is time to kick off industry, because once we've got a high school going, people will only actually start using the high school if they've got a reason to do so, basically. Now if we buy that weapons factory blueprint, and we've already got iron being made, so maybe that will actually help us out there. But cement factory, speed up constructions, give us some more stuff to export. That kinda works as well. Well, we can't afford the whole weapons factory now, so I reckon we go cement, and we shall stick that in here. In fact, if we complete that first, that'll speed up everything else, so let's leave that like that. And put time back on. So here comes the school. And I'll send my little avatar to go and help the... Oh, I lost £1,000 that time. Probably should have spent another £1,000 before allowing the year to close up. I'll get the cement factory done, and then I'll get these tourists stuff in place, so they give my island a good little review. Too many shacks, blah 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 blah. Yes, I know about the shacks, but I'm dealing with it. Oh.
Housing conditions for the masses in tropical.
Also, look, can you see that wavy stuff on the screen? It looks like we're about to have some sort of heat wave.
Temperatures today. Everyone is rushing to cool off in the ocean. Farmers are worried about the fate of the crops, and the weather ahead is predicted to be extremely sunny and hot.
Just like you, my dear.
A drought, Presidente. Mother Nature is gently reminding us how many resources we consume.
It'll cost me 1,000. I only have 1,000. But it's probably better that everyone remains a little bit happier, so I think I'll probably set those restrictions even though my money's not looking very good at the moment. Okay, let's check our overview for the end of year. What was this? Year 9. Overall happiness 36. That is plummeted. Entertainment they're not happy with. Crime safety is really dragging that one down. Okay, we're going to need a police station. Okay, can't avoid that one anymore. Tourism's gone up to 4. Woohoo! Number of citizens 125, so that's continued to go up. People are less happy than they were. We've got 20 unemployed and 2 free job positions. So that's okay. I can just keep building things and people will go and work there. That is fine. My overall outgoings was 42,000, but that's understandable because I was building a crap load. My top export is sugar at the moment. So it's just such a shame that I can't turn that into rum. We don't have a prominent faction, and the threat level to me at the moment is none, because we've got no rebels at all, which is quite surprising, bearing in mind the lack of happiness. But that's all gravy. Whoa! And there goes the heat wave. Alright, so where are my builders then? Some peaceful protest peacefully. I'm getting there. So how much is this here police station going to cost me? And where is the crime, in fact? Natural resources... Is it in people? Right, the crime is dead in the city centre. So that's where we're going to need to put a police station. And it looks like all of the farms are screwed! $400 to water the field, otherwise it will recover automatically. How much money does it actually make, this thing? Exports 2,000 a year. It probably is worth it then. Bye bye money. A building has been set on fire. No, my garage! $5,000 to extinguish it. That's ridiculous. That's less than the... It's actually going to cost me less to just let that blow up. Alright, and there's our little choppers. We're right over here. Yeah, we're cool over there. Right, let's get this police station down then. What's that? I assume that's in government. Police station 5,000. Can I squeeze that in here? Come on, squeeze. Be small. Breathe in. No. Could stick it there, but that's going to wipe out the crops in that area, which wasn't quite the idea. Oh, brilliant. That farm has actually grown its stuff in the middle of everything else. But I always knew that was going to be a bit of a temporary solution. I think I might actually have to build over these guys to just get it near to where the problem is. Yep. Buy crops. Alright, it's time to unlock some stuff then. As we now have both a cement factory and 2 constructors, so we'll get the 2 tourism stuff up and going. Up and running even. Don't have any firefighters. I think it would actually cost me more to get the firefighter up and running than it would to do anything else. Where's fire station? Here it is. 6,000.
Our hot topic today, housing. Don't you think there are too many homeless people on the island, Peninsula?
Yes, there are homeless people, but I'm good. I'm dealing with it. I'm getting there.
Yeah, but to live in a shack.
And we've got a new plot. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Building an oil well will improve our vital economic stats. My chance to have a lie. We must act in the name of profits. That's a maybe. Does it have to be an external oil well? Let's have a look. Oil refinery. That's not what he suggested. Food and resources oil well. Oil well produces crude oil, can only be built on land and on an oil deposit. It's quite a way down. That would probably need a new garage to go down that far, and I'm not sure I want to do that. So I think I'll ignore that one for now and just see if it disappears on its own. And here comes the tourist stuff. Fantastic. And here's the police station. So this is when we discover how many high school workers we've got in this place. And high school is up as well, and good look at that. So there we've got a couple of teachers there, and the school is full of students, primarily I guess because there are now decent paying high school jobs available. We'll have to see how this is kind of going. See, the cement factory's only got 3, but that's probably simply because of the amount of people with that particular education. So if we just look in lists, education, we now have 10 people with a high school education and 7 with a college education and 9 with grade school, which must have come from abroad. So it's raining, hallelujah.
Dang, man, hallelujah.
And this place is still on fire. But I'm still not going to pay 5,000 to extinguish that. I would rather rebuild. So we've got a couple of coppers, so that should help with the crime rate over a period of time. Need to keep a vague eye on the calendar so to make sure I don't run out of money. And finally, our tourists have somewhere to get themselves happy. I hope you enjoy the beach, ladies and gentlemen. There will be more to come. It doesn't seem to. I only can't see exactly what effect the cement factory is having, other than it just tells you things are getting better. Aha! And we have our first rebel, which wasn't quite the idea, but that's all right. Okay, so let's get some of these tenements up and running. Start getting our population under cover. And also with that probably takes us to our half-an-hour mark. Sir, the number of rebels on the island is growing higher. We shall take adequate proportions.
We should take adequate precautions.
And indeed we shall do that, but we have run out of time on this particular video. I hope you have enjoyed this strategic look. Why do I have a ton of people over here? Who are these guys? Just generally unemployed people wandering across the beach. Okay, never mind. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little look at Tropico. If you have, please give the video a like and do subscribe if you would like to see future episodes. Additionally, this is one of the first times I've done this style of Let's Play video, kind of a strategic look at things. So if you've got any suggestions for me in terms of the commentary on top of it, I'm more than happy to be open to critical criticism in terms of how I'm doing it. So do let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.